Ladies and gentlemen, this might be the video you've been waiting for, the video everyone wants to hear. Because the mess that Real Madrid is causing before the final of the King's Cup is an absolute disgrace. I'll tell you everything. Here, don't go. Hit the like button on this video in which I'm going to review everything that's happening in Seville. We're at the Barca team hotel. In the room, it's wild. Thanks to the people from UnoXBet and family, what's happening doesn't make any sense. This morning, the referee of the grand final, Mr. Ricardo de Burgos, Bengo Echea, gave his press conference. A press conference in which the referee was moved because he told something that has touched everyone. And he said this headline, "I'm going to enjoy this great final like a little kid." But what needs to be highlighted isn't here. What has made Madrid explode against the referees and everything? Even at this late hour, he has already stood up the federation at the press conference and training in La Cartuja. And the possibility that there may not be a final tomorrow is not ruled out, despite President Rafael Lopez Fan has denied it. Referee of the Burgo match, Bengocha has done, a magnificent intervention. He has also been self-critical, of course. He has said that they make mistakes. But the delicate moment of everything, this tremendous mess that has been set up, is when the referee got emotional because he said he can't stand it. He's having a really hard time when he gets home and his son tells him that at school and on the street, they tell his son that his father is a thief. He got emotional and said that he's going to fight so that when he retires, he can leave with his head held high and that no one can say anything. Well, none of this nonsense is that he suffers. His family suffers because of what is happening. And why is this happening? Real Madrid, a shameless club, owns a television station that airs whatever it pleases. Lacking, without ethics, without education, without respect, without values, conducting a harassment and demolition campaign of pressure against the referees before the matches. This is not new. And it has happened again and again against Ricardo de Burgos Bengochea. Because they believe that this referee mistreats Madrid. In other words, this referee treats Madrid badly on the field. It's impressive. It's impressive. It's impressive. Well, this gentleman has become emotional, okay? He shared that anecdote with his son, all prompted by the pressure of Real Madrid television behind them. Well, Real Madrid has not shown up for the press conference, nor have they done the training in La Cartuja. Snubbing the federation, snubbing their fans, nothing makes sense. It's absolute madness. Well, in the midst of all this, Madrid has issued a statement that we are going to read here. Is the official statement from Real Madrid. They have said this at Real Madrid. It says, considers it inadmissible. The public statements made today by the referees appointed for the final of His Majesty's Cup, which is celebrated tomorrow, Saturday, 26th of April of 2025, and watch out. These statements that have surprisingly put in the spotlight against the videos of a media outlet as if they didn't know him, which he has expressed, he says, under the protection of freedom of speech, as is Real Madrid television, carried out deliberately 24 hours before against one of the finalists. And it shows once again a clear manifest animosity and hostility of these referees against Real Madrid. It seems to me to have a face as hard as cement and to have no shame at all. That after you have caught a video and have crushed this man, now you talk about there being harassment and that there is animosity against Real Madrid. It seems regrettable. By the way, the video assistant referee, González Fuertes, is the referee who helped Madrid win the match against Leganés. Less than a month ago at the Bernabeu, it was quiet without a peep. And he says, even more surprising statements under a threatening tone, referring to the referees' unity. Man, of course, what Real Madrid does to announce supposed measures or actions that are far from the principles of equity, objectivity, and impartiality that should prevail is very strong. Just a few hours away from a football event that captures the attention of hundreds of millions of viewers. And you, who now is from a match like this, from a title, you take and make a video in this dirty way, throwing a referee to the ground. Like my car limps again. Isn't it a shame? Real Madrid television. And he says, given the seriousness of what happened, Real Madrid expects that the responsible parties from the Spanish Football Federation and the refereeing body will act accordingly, adopting the appropriate measures in defense of the prestige of the institutions they represent. In other words, what does Madrid want? Change the referees, remove you from Bruno Bengochea. Is the thing with Florentino, with Madrid, with the cavern really unbearable, unsustainable, shameless? Give a like and share this video so that all the culés find out and the Madridistas who watch it. Surely many will agree with us that this is not done. This is not done. Do you know the people from Madrid and other Spanish cities like Seville who came to see the team today for the first time? Friends, after the statement from Real Madrid, the president of the league, Mr. Javier Tebas, has said, this attention, Javier Tebas, this is not football, it's power control. They don't like Tebas because he doesn't do what he wants. This is about Florentino Perez, huh? Be careful. He doesn't like Zeferin because he doesn't do what he wants. He doesn't like Luzan because he doesn't do what he wants. He doesn't like television commentators because they don't say what he wants. They don't want the arbitration reform to advance because it's not what he wants. My goodness, what a blow, Florentino. And now, after the statements of the referees, because it's not what he wants, obviously tremendous, and look how he responds. Real Madrid suspends press conference, skips training in La Cartuja. He despises the official acts of the cup final, leaks that he is not going to show up at the cup final. Such thin skin, says Tebas. He doesn't protest, pressure, or complain. He threatens, punishes, and disagrees. He doesn't want to improve football. He wants his own version of the sport. Javier Tebas says the gravest issue is not what he attempts, but that many allow consent to and assist him in doing so. Stay tuned for a last-minute update that just arrived. There is an article in the regulations of this King's Cup competition, specifically Article 80.1 of the Disciplinary Code of the Royal Spanish Football Federation. What does it say about non-appearance? That is, not showing up for the final, says about a team. In the final, it would cause the match to be played between the other finalist and the one who was eliminated by the offender. That is, if Madrid does not show up for the final, which would be absolute madness and a global embarrassment, a scandal. The final will be rescheduled for another date. I'm unsure how they will manage it. With everything set up, with the hotels paid for, with the stadium ready, with the dates already fully scheduled, the final would be Barcelona-Real Sociedad. I mean, I hope that Madrid reconsiders, that Real Madrid has at least a little bit of decency and plays the match. You're already losing 1-0. The match, you're scared. What you're not going to win on the field, you want to win in the offices. With this garbage. What a lack of shame, really. Well, family, we'll keep you updated. Remember to activate the notification bell and don't miss anything. Pay attention to TikTok, Instagram, and all platforms. Don't miss anything. Today from Seville at the hotel with Uno Expert Live. Brutal, family. What a crazy preview of the Copa del Rey final. Barca yesterday, today, and always.